Hello and welcome to another special episode of HW Straight Drive with me, Anil Raj. England lifted their maiden ICC World Cup trophy, beating a battle-hardened New Zealand in a nerve-wracking final that was decided via a dramatic super over. Opting to bat, New Zealand once again put a modest batting performance under the overcast condition to post 241 for 8 against a quality England pace attack and kept asking probing questions. In a reply appearing in the fourth tournament final, England ended at the same scoring, leading to an super over eliminator at the Lords. In the same super over, England batted first and the duo of Ben Stokes, who kept the host in the game with a brilliant 84 runs, and Josh Buttler made 15, and New Zealand also ended the same score, but for the loss of 1 wicket, proving the way for England's victory on boundary count. England in the game scored 24 boundaries while compared to New Zealand's 16, and in the super over, the home team blasted 2 fours and Kane Williamson's team hit just a 1-6. We have our sports editor Mahesh Kutti online. Kutti sir, your first reaction on the game?
It was one of the most dramatic finals that you would ever witness. Somebody who wrote that script must have been a real genius. He kept everybody captivated for 100 overs, and even in the super overs, the match was tied. So you couldn't have asked anything better for this World Cup finals.
Two of the best teams played the final match, and as it could be witnessed with their performance, do you think it was just sheer luck that went in England's favour?
A lot of people have been telling that England were lucky. As they say, luck always goes with the people who are tough. And I think England were a tough team to crack. They played brilliantly all through the tournament. They went a little downslide in between when Jason Roy was not playing, but they came back on track and they defeated India and New Zealand in the league games before coming into the semi-finals, defeating Australia very comprehensively, and yesterday's final they held their nose better than New Zealand. To me, England were the best side coming into the tournament. They were the hot favourites, and at the end of the day they won the trophy and took home the title.
Do you think the boundary rule is unfair? Rather, as many people on the social media suggested, that the team taking maximum wickets should have been victorious in the World Cup final?
There is a lot of debate on that, but I have a very simple argument. All these things were laid down to all participating teams, that the team that hits more boundaries would be adjudged the winner. Now, there is going to be something or the other that has to hold, and that this time it is the boundaries. Now, tomorrow, if they say the team that gets more wickets will win, there will be again somebody who will challenge it and say that this is unfair for a world title if a team that has got more wickets has been awarded the winner. So there is no end to this. To me, England were the better team yesterday, and that's why they won the match.
Do you also think that this specific controversy is just because the result was a one of its kind? Because even before the game, there was no such result as the super over getting tied.
I'm sure when the teams would have been introduced to the system of more boundaries would be the reason why a team would win. I don't think any of the teams would have taken it seriously. I'm sure that most of the team members would not even be knowing the rules of the game. They would have said, okay, if the match is tied, there will be a super over. And normally in the super over, it is decided with runs itself as to who the winner is. I don't think another World Cup finals would go down to the wire of this kind, where even the super over, the match gets tied, and then it is on the number of boundaries that the team wins the title. So going ahead, I think there will be a lot of debate on this, and probably they might change the rule and say that the team that got more wickets. But each of them would raise a controversy. To me, there is no end to this controversy. I think New Zealand were a little unlucky, I can say, because there were a lot of times that they had a good chance to win, like Ben Stokes diving to get the ground and the ball ricocheting from his bat and going to the boundary. Now that 4 runs at the end of the day proved to be vital. If that boundary would not have been scored, or the ball would not have gone to the boundary line, I'm sure that England would have been in deep trouble in the last 2 balls, and I think New Zealand would have won it even without the super over. All these things are part and parcel of cricket. The whole match, if you see, the fortune was oscillating from one side to the other. So it was a fantastic match. Unfortunately, one team only can win. You sympathize for New Zealand definitely, but I think the team that would have held its nerves better has won the match.
My next question on this is on the same incident when Martin Guptill threw the ball and hit Ben Stokes' bat and it went for 4. A former elite umpire called Simon Toffel has said that the umpire should have given it a 5 run instead of a 6 runs. So this incident, should the ICC rethink about this decision or this rule?
See, even in the previous show, we did mention about the incompetency of these umpires. These are supposed to be elite umpires. They're supposed to be the best in the business. And in a World Cup finals, Simon Toffel was kind enough to say that a lot of things were happening at that time, and probably the umpire would have overlooked it. But the law very clearly states that when Guptill would have released the ball from the boundary line, the batsman should have crossed to get 2 runs. They had not crossed. Rashid was, just out of his crease, and Stokes had just left his crease, but they had not crossed. Had they crossed, it would have been 2 plus 4, 6. But this had to be 1 plus 4, 5. So that 1 run at the end of the day proved to be very, very costly. So I think the umpiring was far from good. And I think going ahead, we should be more careful in choosing better umpires. And I think if the third umpire knew about it, he should just jump into it and ensure that no more errors are committed.
One of the many controversies in this game, one of these is the Prince of England was not watching his country play in the World Cup final. Rather, he was present at the Wimbledon final played between Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic.
It was really absurd. How can the Prince not watch his own countrymen play the finals of a World Cup which comes once in 4 years? Instead, go and watch Wimbledon, where 2 players, none of them are Englishmen, one is a Swiss and the other is from Czechoslovakia, playing for the Wimbledon title, which happens every year. So, I thought it was absolutely ridiculous for the Prince to go and watch a Wimbledon and not go to the Lords and watch his team win the title. Maybe his priorities are different, maybe he likes tennis more than cricket, but whatever it is, I think he should have been at the Lords cheering England to victory.
Talking about the game specifically, do you think England's decision of giving Jofra Archer to bowl the last super over was a wise decision?
They had to choose between an inexperienced bowler like Jofra Archer or somebody like Plunkett or Woods or Vokes. I think they could have gone with Vokes because Vokes was bowling very well in the first part of the match. Jofra Archer was very evidently nervous, and the moment 1-6 was hit of his bowling by Neesham, he didn't know where to bowl. You could see nervousness, anxiety in his eyes. He was sweating profusely. He didn't know what to bowl the next ball, and you could see all the English senior players going up to him and telling him what to bowl. But he held his nerves. I must give him credit for that. The last ball he bowled well onto the legs of Guptill and did not allow him a free swing of his arm, because had Guptill got under that ball would have gone out of the boundary and nothing of this kind would have happened. No controversy would have happened about the number of boundaries that decided the winner. So I think it was a risk that Ian Morgan took by giving Jofra Archer the last over, but all's well that ends well, and England won't be complaining now.
Talking about the man of the match, Ben Stokes had a final to revenge. In the last T20 final in England, he was beaten for 4 sixes by Carlos Braithwaite. Do you think with this performance in the final match, is the best all-rounder in the world current now?
Oh, without a doubt. The innings that he played was a very matured innings. When he came into bat, England were in a little bit of a trouble, and immediately he had only Josh Buttler to give him company, and there was a long way to go. You know what? He's not a batsman who just goes hammer and tongs. He waits, he gets his runs in singles and twos, and when the need arises, he can really hit the ball long. I think he played a very, very good innings. Extremely happy the way he played it, and more importantly, he is a Kiwi guy. He is from New Zealand, and to play against his own countrymen and to beat them, New Zealand must be wondering why the hell did he go and join the English team. He should have been with them, and that would have been a great boon for New Zealand. Having said all this, I think as of now, without a doubt, Ben Stokes should be the best all-rounder in the world.
Another key highlight of the match is the gesture of Kane Williamson. He has been awarded the man of the tournament for his batting as well as captaincy. What is your take on Williamson being awarded as the man of the series?
Brilliant. He's an astute captain. very cool, calm, composed, doesn't show his emotions a bit. He doesn't even when his team does a mistake on the field, he's cool. These are qualities of a great captain. And look at his batting. He's been in fantastic form. He's scored centuries also. He's held the innings together. He's calm. He picks up runs in singles. I think he's a fantastic player, fantastic captain. I think he's going to serve New Zealand cricket for a long time. He, along with Virat Kohli, Joe Root, and Steve Smith, are some of the best batsmen in the world. I think Kane Williamson's leadership is the best among these four.
And one final question. Everyone has been speaking that the English team is an excellent team in limited formats cricket. Do you think with the World Cup victory, is the English team the best team in white ball cricket right now?
Without a doubt. You know what? When they lost in 2015 to Bangladesh, they did a complete revamp of their cricket team. They got rid of players who they did not think would be able to contribute in white ball cricket. The captain was changed. The whole outlook was changed. And it is so evident that right now they won the world title. So I'm extremely happy for England, and after so many years, they've won the world title for the first time. They've played in 3 finals. They've only won once, but I think a lot of credit should go to Ian Morgan. I think he led the team beautifully. He ensured that everybody knew their roles well. See, in cricket, the main important thing is that people should know why you are being picked and what your role is. I think they were defined very well to this English team, and they played to the plan. I think England was the best team in the tournament, and that is why they won the title.
The English team blood and sweat helped them to win the World Cup. Whether you believe that the English team was lucky enough to win the World Cup, in the end, the fans got to witness a high quality game of cricket since a long time. Do watch other episodes of HW. Till then, it's goodbye from all of us.